So thank you for joining us, guys, for FFO Mania. And the whole point of this is to give us an opportunity to actually get some of those fully finishes done, because I'm pretty sure you guys all have a box like mine that's full of beautiful stitch pieces that we really love stitching, and we just haven't gotten off our butts to get them finished. So I thought a good idea for this would be to actually hold us accountable. I mean, it's optional, but give you a couple of sessions during May where we can get on here, jump into one of the breakout rooms and actually sit there and do our fully finishing while we talk to each other or just see other people fully finishing. The chance for us to share ideas and expertise, because we have a lot of different expertise in the group. Some people are beginners who haven't fully finished because they have absolutely no idea where to start. So today, being still in April, I thought it was a good opportunity to just get together and show some of the pieces we've got to do and have a thought about how we might finish them. I am recording it because I thought our friends in the group who couldn't make it at this time may want to see what we've done, and it may encourage them to join in with us at the other events during the month. There's no expectation that you have to turn up to every event. Just do what you can. But the whole point is to, encourage you to get the finishes. So hopefully we can get some good finishes. And I am going to be awarding prizes in the form of raffle entries and lucky dips to people who get fully finishes. Or, I might decide I give one to someone who actually manages to turn up to every event. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But there will be prizes to encourage you to get them done. I might give one to someone who got the most creative finish, or someone who got the most finishes, or someone who just was a raw beginner and was struggling really hard and finally got a finish. As I said, who knows? We'll see what I feel like at the end. But there will be prizes on offer for participating, as well as the fact that you're going to have some FFOs, and that's the biggest win of all. So so thanks for joining us, guys, because you're going to be our models for tonight. First up, I thought it might be good if any of you have ideas of things that are fully finished that you'd like to share with us, to show people what sorts of fully finishes are fairly easy to do, or what are the options of things that people can finish. And then after we've gone through and shown them, I want to actually get through our boxes and have a bit of a whip parade of what have we got to finish, and decide, well, which ones actually could get finished in May. Does that sound all right with you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not a me lecture for the whole 2 hours. It's a conversation between us all. So I'll start just to get the ball rolling. These are a couple of fully finishes that I've done before. First one is ornaments. So if you have any ornaments handy that you want to show us, this is what I find the easiest thing to make. Is a little pillow. Attaching a string to it, put it back on it, and there you've got an ornament. So I will be making possibly some ornaments. I'm not sure if I have any ornaments to finish at the moment, but that ornament or pillow finish is pretty easy. Any of you guys got any ideas about pillow ornament finishes? Oh, look, Cindy's got a nice one. Come over this way, Cindy. What's your elbow? Yeah.
I just finished it today.
Oh, well done. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So tell us what you did to finish it.
I just used the sewing machine. I put some, I did interfacing behind the stitching. And then all I did was just use the sewing machine and stitch the edges and turn around and stuff it. So very simple.
Very nice.
And then I put a little pocket on the back for the tooth fairy for her to be able to put her tooth in when she loses it.
That is so cute.
So, but that's my only finish for this year.
Well, but it's a fully finished, so that's good.
Yeah, it needs to be. She lost her first tooth last week.
Oh, lovely. Anyone else got any pillow finishes handy? Glory's gone to hunt one down. No. All right, so pillow finishes are easy, and that's probably an easy one for us to show during our events, that we'll be able to show people how to finish. some people, I think, have the idea that this event's going to show them 15 different ways to make an ornament. I'm not sure that's the intention of the group, but you might learn something. So, you know, as we're on here finishing, if we find someone's particularly skilled at it, but in general, the other events aren't necessarily going to be recorded. They're just going to be like stitching sessions. But if you're going to do a pillow finish, you really just need to be able to get 2 bits of fabric, put them front ways facing, so around, you know, 3 sides or 3.5 sides, and then turn them inside out, put wadding in them, sew up the end and attach a hanger, and whatever you want to do. It's pretty easy to do, and you can do it by hand or with a machine. So that's why that's a good one to start with. The other one I think is pretty easy to do. I actually got little foam squares, and so instead of making this into a pillow, it's just a I've got them all pinned up. See if I can show you. Not really, these ones are already done. I don't know if you can see the foam square. I'm gonna make myself big. Let's see. A little foam square that you just buy it, well, we buy it at Spotlight, but you guys at Joann's or Michael's. And as you can see, I haven't done anything with the back, but the front looks super cute. And all I've done is wrap the fabric around it and just jabbed pins into it. And this little one, same idea, but I pinned on the sides and put some feet on it, which are just pins, so that it actually will stand up, which is really good. So that's one really, really easy way to actually do a finish. Have any of you ever tried foam squares?
No.
Did you go and get anything, Laurie?
I did.
Yep. What do you got?
So I got 2 things, but I'm gonna hog. Flat folds. Flat folds are pretty common. A lot of people have done videos about them, but basically you just have backing board and you choose an alternate fabric and you have a little ribbon there so it doesn't like go splat on you, you know, and fold out. And then you just mount your piece, and this is pretty much glue. It's no sewing involved necessarily, just cutting, measuring, and gluing, and then you have a little stand. It's not framed, so you have to be neat. This is my first one, so it's not as neat as I would like it, but you can put like a ribbon or cording around to cover up your messiness, which I could do to hide some of the unevenness. So that's one option.
Yeah, well, on that option, just hold your other option for the moment. Anyone else got flat folds to show techniques? Mike, I've got a question for you on that, because I don't know how to, I haven't made a flat fold yet. I got a friend to make one, so I've got one here to show too, and this one is actually a Mill Hill kit. So see, it's like on the paper.
Yeah.
So she's actually just pinned it onto the flat fold. I should be making myself big, sorry. I keep forgetting. Maybe if I just put it on speaker view. So yeah, it's made it really quite big and easy to do. So she's made the flat fold the same way you talked about. My question for you, Laurie, though, is if you decide to put ribbon or something around the edge, how and when would you do that?
You can do it anytime, and like any really good craft glue or fabric glue like Eileen's, but there are other brands out there, will hold that too, but you could also pin it using stick pins, and you can hide the pins within the weave of the cording to where you don't see where it is actually pinned. And some people, I don't recommend it because of the boarding and everything's pretty stiff, but you could sew it on, like whip stitch in the background. But I just think glue
Yeah,
works.
glue works. Yes, good old hot glue gun.
Yeah.
And some people go, oh, I don't really want to, you know, glue my stitching, but you're not gluing anywhere near your stitching. So worst case scenario is if you decide, oh, I really don't like it, you can just cut away where the glue is and you still have plenty of fabric. The good thing about these types of finishes is you don't need the 3 inches that you need for framing.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, what's your other one you've got, Laurie?
I just did a shadow box. Instead of like custom framing, just go get a standard shadow box, but you can like embellish however you want, and it kind of makes it 3D. So I kind of put the fake snow in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
It's there you go. So he's standing in snow. And then I bought the letters, craft letters, and they're sticky. And so they're almost the thickness of maybe puzzle pieces. And I just stuck them onto the fabric. And there you go. But with the shadow boxes, I could potentially just take out January and replace it with February. And it's just mounted on a backing board. So you just switch out the backing boards and boom, you have a whole new finish for another month.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome, Laurie. And that's one thing I really like about FFOs is trying to think about storage, because it's very hard to store everything. And I do like the seasonal things. And that's one thing, yeah, if you just have a backing frame, a backing board, then you can just stack them all flat in a box or a bag or something, and you've got it ready to do. So
Yes.
it's awesome. The other thing that you can do is just obviously normal framing, and that is something that I will be doing during the course of the fully finishes. See if I can take you over. See, I bought myself I went shopping in preparation, a whole bunch of frames ready to do, and I find them quite easy to do because they're I'm not too bad at lacing around the back, so I put them in lace. And then the biggest thing is I find that they're a bit fatter, which is why the shadow box is a good idea. But you just get a piece of brown paper and glue that or tape that over the back, and that keeps it secure. So I will be doing framing, and basically I'll be doing framing that I think I have frames for. Like I look at the frames and go, well, will that fit? Will that not fit? And that's one of the things I'll be doing, later on today, probably in this session, is working out, well, what have I got that might fit the frames that I bought? Luke, did you have anything to share with us that's fully finished? Oh, can't hear you. Is your microphone up the back of your head, maybe?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, at least I wasn't double muted. No, I did a flat fold, but I've given it away. So let's see if I can share screen. That one. A lady who worked with our company for 42 years and who her personal favorite holiday is the American Thanksgiving. So I made her a Thanksgiving chart, but gave her a private little note saying that we were giving her thanks for her service through all the years. But that's a flat fold. But what I did was I laced the stitching onto mat board the way you would normally lace to frame, but then did just regular bookbinders glue to put it onto a fabric covered another board, and then did that grosgrain ribbon to do the folding.
Really effective. Lovely.
She cried. I was like, oh, I guess I done good.
Yeah, and they're good because you can put them away. Like some people think, oh, they're not covered by glass, they're going to get dusty, but they don't really get that dusty.
Well, and I'd not been to her house, so I don't know what her wall decor is like. So I thought, oh, she could just tuck that away on a bookshelf, and it's not going to get in the way. Yeah, so that was the other flat folds I did last year. I don't have pictures of.
That's all right.
It seems I give away my flat folds. Then I've got I make bobbin lace in historical sites, and I needed a bobbin bag because you do. So I used one of the Stacy Nash little sweethearts. It was a ginger cat, but all my cats are black, and that's my Margie there with the white crest. And I
Yeah.
just did it on a Weeks Dye Works, very rustic linen, and sewed it to a reproduction linen, a linen cotton blend, and just lined it with the same Weeks Dye Works, and it works beautifully. It holds about 120 bobbins at a go, and then just turn to the top so that a ribbon fits through and it becomes a drawstring I can tie around my waist when I'm doing the lace making in public.
Awesome.
But
That's cool.
it was just, pick up and go. It's kind of difficult these days to find luggage, if you will, to take to these historical sites. So, you got to make your own.
Wonderfully.
And then I have another piece that I want to show when we get to the point where we want to discuss ideas and
Okay.
pull ideas from other people's brains.
And that's the whole point of today. So that's awesome. All right. So that's just, that's some ideas of things that you can do. I have one other. And this is another simple, because I'm all for doing simple finishes. This is one I finished last year. And my lovely friend Glenna actually gave me this idea. She was using stretcher bars to frame things around. And then from the stretcher bar idea, I actually moved it onto artist canvas. So I have just stretched this around artist canvas, and it's just held on with tape at the moment, but you could pin it in. So you just end up with a wooden frame. So I've got show you. So you just buy your frame, and see it's already got, you can pull the canvas off, but I actually leave it on because it gives a nice white sort of mat to stretch it around. And then you can just, pin it on, staple it on, stick it on to the frame, and you just stretch it around, and it's really easy to do. And it gives you the canvas to stick on your wall. And I also have this one, where I took that idea, use the thinner ones. And I actually just stuck my stitching onto the little artist frames and joined them with a ribbon to make a little trio. So I can really make myself big. But, just for a little thing. So instead of making them into cushions,
you use peaking shears to cut the edges, huh?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll try and make myself big.
Yeah.
I like that because you don't have to worry about the edges fraying, and it finishes it off.
Exactly. I mean, I need to put a bit more glue on it, and I was just experimenting with the glue, but these were just some of my designs, and I wanted to fully finish, and it's just seriously just on the back, like glued onto one of those thin canvases. And then I
Attach the ribbon.
And when it's hanging up, you don't see the back. It's really quite effective way, especially when you've got rather than having 50 billion cushions.
That's good, Lisa. And if you wanted like a colored background using those canvases the way you did, you can use like a $1 acrylic paint and paint the background whatever color you want.
Or even scrapbooking paper.
Yes. And like you can do it, like you might decide, oh look, I've got this little cross stitch, and let's say it's a memorial to your dog. You can stick a photo of your dog there, and then stick a cross stitch on there. There's so many things you can do. Be creative and find a way to display them. So and I did have a frame handy. Here's one. This is a frame where I actually bought the frame custom framed for this piece. So we in Australia, we have a place called frameshop.com.au. And this frame, I measured how big I was going to do it. And then at the moment, I haven't done anything other than stick it in, but this is what I'm saying. I just need to, I've stretched it around. I haven't even laced it because it just squeezed in so tightly I didn't need to. And then I've just got to cover that with brown paper. And it's done. That's pretty easy. And I'm quite sure you guys have plenty of American sites that do custom framing. It's a lot cheaper than getting it framed, because I don't know about you guys, but over here getting something framed costs you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And sometimes, yes, it's really worth it, but other times it's like it's not that hard to frame it yourself if you've got the right size frame.
Along
I got pillows.
Yes. Along that idea, so our craft stores, like Michael's or Joann's, sell the little crates. This is what it looks like on the back. And it's just like the twine that's stapled here. And these are like, I don't know, $5 to $10. And if you have a special, even more. So I painted it for my background. I used the ribbon, just a spool of ribbon as a transition. And then I put the cross stitch piece again on backing board and mounted it too. And then just a small little spider embellishment there with
Lovely,
webbing.
Lori.
And so that was really inexpensive. And this whole finish might have cost $10 with all ingredients together. You can't beat that. Yeah.
No, and as far as time, and that's what we'll see when we're doing it, how long would you reckon that took you to do? Because you had to paint it as well. Don't count the drying time.
Okay. So painting, I got my daughter, she thought it was really fun. And we had just had those little foam spongy paint things, maybe 10 minutes. And that's getting all the cracks. And then the ribbon, as long as you're, putting this on the backing board, that took a while because you want to get it square. And then you had to measure off the backing board to make sure, that all fits. So maybe about 20 minutes on that. And then the gluing was really quick because as I'm gluing this along, I'm just tucking the ribbon and gluing as I go all around the piece. And that might have been another 10 minutes. So all in all, like 45 minutes is probably one. Yeah.
45 minutes and $10. See, and that makes it affordable. And I think that's one of the reasons that a lot of people don't do the FFOs is because they go, oh, it's hundreds of dollars to get it framed. But you don't have to. There is a way to do it and they look really nice. Again, these are the ones that I've done, a whole collection up there. And they all look great and just different things. So that's what we're here for, to encourage you and help you find ideas. And so anyone else got anything else that's done they want to share first? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next session. Not sure if Naomi's looking for something. She's digging away.
Go get something, but you can start the next one in the meantime.
No, I do want to get it. That's fine. All right.
I'm digging for a new bobbin.
I need bobbin. Okay. Yeah. So, there's lots of different things that you can do. You do need to have the stash, obviously, to do it. And that's the hardest thing I find is knowing, well, what do I need? And that's part of why I thought, well, let's get together tonight because we can pick things that might be right. Oh, I really need to go and get this or that now to finish that piece. And then you'll be ready to go when we get together in a few days, or next weekend or whenever I decide to do it, and actually start getting them finished. I like to mass finish. I like to just do a production line. So each time we get on, I'll do a different type of finishing. I don't mix and match. So it might be like, I'm doing all my pillows today, or I'm doing all my flat folds or that sort of thing. Good. I find that easier because you've got the gear ready and you've got the setup, because each type of finishing is different. And it could be that you've got some things you need to sew and some things you need to stick. And you might decide, well, the first session I'll do the sewing and the second session I'll do the sticking. But the idea is that by the end of May, we all have some fully finishes that we can enjoy. All right, Miss Beth, what did you find to share with us?
So I'm a big fan of felt to hide backgrounds in the backs. So I've got a little bookmark, the Murray bookmark with felt on the back, and it's just a blanket stitch.
Lovely.
And I do exactly the same thing when I'm doing hoops. I put felt on the back, and then it's just got a blanket stitch around the edge to hold it on.
That's nice and simple too. Well done,
So,
Beth.
really, really basic, but quite effective and really fast.
Yeah, really, really fast. And that's what we want. Well, there you go. So that's a few good ideas to get people thinking about things. And there's many, many other options out there. That's just a few, but that just gets us started. So let's move on to the second bit, which is where we're going to have a look at what you've got to finish and have a quick chat about what you think you might do with it, or if you need our input. That's what we're here for. We have 6 good brains here, and we'll see if we can see what we can come up with. Who wants to volunteer to go first?
Oh, bite.
Thank you, Beth.
All right, so I have a pile. So let me just pull it apart. So this little koala is one that I've done on plastic canvas while teaching my kids how to stitch. I'm planning on cutting it out and then maybe putting a magnet on the back and turning it into a fridge magnet. So,
And you'd felt the back of that, I'd imagine.
I don't even know whether I'd bother. I might just glue magnets on the back.
Yep.
Depends how lazy I'm feeling. And I've got, where are we? This one's got a language warning, just a heads up. I've got one here, which I'm going to turn into a pillow. So just, it's nice and easy. And I'm just sort of like, I can just sew that on with some borders around and make it really easy. So there's a couple which I've got going on. I've got a bunch more, but I'm actually gonna have to learn how to self-frame, I think, for some of it.
Well, that will come in handy. Well, we'll be able to show you when we're on, because that's what I figure is we'll be able to, you know, help people with a few things while we're doing it. That would be good. All right. So do you have any you're not sure of how you want to do?
I've got my tiny little masterpieces. So they're really little, a couple of inches across. There's one, and I'm going to have 5 of them. And at the moment, I'm not sure what to do with them, whether turn them into ornaments or maybe get those little cheap frames that where you've got a couple of them or that type of thing, something along those lines. So
Yeah.
Still thinking.
Still think. Okay.
Too many options is the issue.
Fair enough. All right. What about you, Cindy? Do you have anything you need to you want to show us?
I didn't bring anything with me. It's all like buried, but most everything that I'm planning on doing are going to either be pillows or half a flat fold. So I wasn't going to do the extra piece in the back. I was just gonna do the flat fold, and then so that's mostly what I'm planning on doing, because then I can just set them on the mantle or on the hutch, you know, and kind of wedge them in wherever they need to be at.
Lovely. And I saw something the other day that I need to find. Someone had a piece they'd framed. It was on a floss tube. So kudos to whoever it was. I can't remember at the moment. But it's like the half flat fold idea. But you actually get a plate stand and you stand it up on a plate stand. So I need to actually find some plate stands, because then that would be perfect. And then you can swap them out, because we all like changing things around.
Well, and I think what I want to do with mine, like you said, with the swapping and changing them out, is putting some magnets on the back. And then my husband, during COVID, he started building tables and different things. And so we've got all sorts of little blocks. And so I'm just going to have him cut me out of his scrap wood, have him cut me blocks, and then put the washers on that and attach them that way. That's what I'm thinking.
Speaking of blocks, Beth, I bought these from a $2 shop, and they are rectangle wooden, just like 3 of them in there, little wooden square. Something like that might be effective for your masters to sit on. And like Laurie said, you could even like paint the back of it to make it a rich color or something. So there's all sorts of things you can find when you go hunting.
That looks really good. So that's my issue. Too many choices.
Yeah, but they're about the right size, I think, because often it is the size that matters.
Yeah, they're generally about 2 by 3 inches, so they're really small.
All right, Naomi, must be your turn.
Yeah, I have a pile.
Great.
I've gone so far as to start collecting all the bits and bobs into bins. So I have this one that I'm going to make into a zipper pouch. I have the zipper. I have the lining all cut. I just need to sew the damn thing.
Well, that's what we will get you to do that. That's awesome.
This one I need to find fabric for, but I want to make it into like a little potpourri sachet. So I need to go through my fabric and find the backing. This one I need to find the damn card. Literally, need card blank is the note on it. I got one somewhere. This is my big one. And my plan on this one is to put it on a like a tea tray and probably somehow seal it so that it doesn't, you know, get damaged. I just thought that that would go really well with it. So I have the tray. I need
You know what?
to,
An easy sealing would be maybe just a piece of really thick plastic.
yeah. So then it
Because
can
then
be re
wipe downable. Yeah, just make sure you make the plastic in the tray a little bit bigger than the fabric so that you can not have any spillage go over.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the tray. I took it to the craft store and was literally like laying it inside trays going, is this one big enough? Nope.
Oh, lovely.
Then I've got my minions that need their little twisty flower ribbons and all that. And I have all the supplies. I just need to do it. And then I have this one that I have to figure out what I want to do with. That one might become a pillow. This one is a banner. And I actually have the like bars to put on the top and the bottom. I just need to edge it and attach them. And then 3 more Mill Hill Santas that need to get their stringers and backing. So I've got a pile.
Awesome. What do you normally do for your Mill Hill backings?
Just felt, or yeah, the squares of felt. I just glue it onto that.
Yeah.
With
Lovely.
a little.
Well, we will be seeing some good progress from you then. That's awesome.
Well, that is if the play I'm working on doesn't end up with more alterations. I'm about a third of the way through the dozen they gave me.
Oh, okay.
We open the 22nd.
Yeah. Well, look, at least you should be able to get something done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like the idea of an FFO mania.
Yeah, well, you know, being no new starts, we don't want to start all the things and be a start mania. And I decided last year I did a mania where I worked on all my whips, you know, each time, which is a great thing to do in mania. But I did that last year and I went, I really need to just make myself get my FFOs done. All right. What about loot? Let's jump back to you.
I've got, I have several under the bed boxes of shame, you know,
That's good.
because I've been stitching since 1988. And I've framed some major pieces, like museum pieces. But most of them just, I mean, I finished that big lady of Shalott last December into the box. So, I mean, for me to bring that out is like, I don't feel I'd be really making any progress because I'm not gonna FFO those anytime soon. And it's like you're saying, price really price plays a big part of it. So what I wanted to do rather was before I get to FFO, I want to pick y'all's brains. Oh, I said y'all. I'm sorry. I've been living here too long. I'm starting to sound like the locals. In order to FO this piece, I started this piece. It's my oldest whip at the moment. Lavender and Lace, Earth Dancer. When I started her, it was the first day I met my husband who has some Cherokee blood. So it was the day we met online. So the first day we met face to face, I started this. Marilyn Levitt Emblem was still alive at the time. And I was in a chat room saying, oh, I really don't like that suede stuff. I think I'll use these porcupine quills. And this woman, MLI, popped in and said, that's a fabulous idea. And then I found out it was her. I was like, oh my God. But she was all for the change. Well, the problem is I've lost the porcupine quills over the years. I still don't like the suede. So what do y'all recommend? She has to have fringes off of her buckskin gown. Do I go with Whisper? Do I go? What are your thoughts?
Ribbon.
Like silk ribbon
think-
or
And
Yes.
I personally love Whisper.
whisper? Okay.
Yeah.
So one,
Whisper only
I
comes
don't
in white,
think,
doesn't it?
oh, it comes in all kinds of colors though
Oh,
these days.
different colored
Mm.
whispers. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can even thread some of those big chunky beads onto them.
Yes.
Oh, the pony beads.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it.
and
Okay.
Ruth,
Well, thank you
on
for your thoughts. Mhm.
Amazon will let you buy porcupine quills and you can select the size of the quill or the size range. So if you still like that idea and you've lost the ones that you had, they're really inexpensive. They're washed. And I found, like, I bought some quills, a set of quills, because I wanted to try my hand at making my own laying tool. And I found just taking a nail file, a buffing nail file,
Mhm.
and just smoothing off some of the prickly-ist
Yeah.
parts. In that way it won't snag on your fabric. But when I was buying the quills, I was amazed that you could select, like, I want a range of 2 inches by 3 inches or 3 to 5 inches. And you can get the size of quills and they come in a pack, of so many. It's like under $10. So if you like that idea, I think it's really authentic. Yeah.
And the fact that Marilyn was all for it, I was so upset when I realized I'd also lost the Bravo thread that makes the dream catcher. But I found a source online for that. The quills that I got were actually purchased up on the Crow Nation up in Idaho by the Coeur d'Alene Reservation. So I'm sure they're somewhere. We've only moved 11 times since we got married. So, but it's good to know that Amazon's a backup. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That is awesome. But yeah, I think you could do well with Whisper, or not so much silk ribbons, but I'm thinking more, I don't know, like a Hessian sort of ribbon. Like I don't know if they make, but
Oh.
it's sort of like a natural fiber sort of, or even that sort of twiny stuff. If there's a ribbon that sort of looks like that, but isn't that stuff, because that's horrible.
Kind of hempy
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
and
what
I
you're
really
saying.
think-
Yeah.
but I do think some pony beads would look really cool and authentic on it too. So yeah,
Cool,
and then
cool.
what would you do?
Thanks
So
for-
that's the finish stitching it. And then what would you do to finish it?
I'll probably frame her. The fancy ladies that I've done, the Miras and the LNLs, I tend to frame.
Yeah.
I tend to frame because I want to put them under glass because we do have cats and I'd rather stitch than dust. So, it's dusty.
Awesome. All right.
Probably frame her. We have
is
the
that-
rose that he gave me when he greeted me at the airport, and that's framed and hung on the wall in a shadow box. So it'd be kind of fun to hang this beside it.
Definitely. Lovely. Well, that gives you a good purpose. All right, Laurie,
Cool.
let's move on to you then. What have you got for us to see? What are you going to go through?
Right now I'm going through and putting the size of the finished product, because I think that'll give me a better idea of what's realistic for the size of the piece, even if it's casual. So this is just like heartstring samplers, Tudor Rose B, and it's going to go with the Tudor Rose Swan. And so I'm thinking either a flat fold, because they're similar size, same designer, similar feel to them. So a flat fold. So what I did was, like, anytime I go to a fabric store or even Walmart, they have fat quarters that are like really small prints. And I just grab a bundle of them. They're $5. If I can't do anything with them, I can always make maybe a grind guard or something with it. But I'm just going to go through my bin of fabric and see what will be a good backing fabric to make a flat fold with it. And I stand it in like a curio type cabinet, all of my things that like Stitchy friends have given me. so that it stays out of dust a little bit, and a flat fold would be perfect to just set in there as kind of a doodaddy kind of thing. Then I have a couple of pieces that I want to make into pillows, like there's the Bee Comes, and the girls, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but this is going to go into a frame, and it's pretty much square. So I think I can go to a craft store and find a standard square frame and get that to work. But I want that one framed because it's a statement piece. It needs a frame. And then this is the grounding force. It's upside down. I apologize for that, but it's on a hanger. I feel like this is a pillow, a little pillow that I can stand up. It could be a frame, and I'm sorry that it's upside down because it's making you kind of like, but it's a regular border. And because it's a regular border, if I can't find a frame that's going to fit that, it's going to be really obvious because it's a border all around.
And you need to have the frame be the right size around. So, you know, in a frame, there's only a certain amount you want to have. Like, you can have some fabric around it, but you don't want more than about half an inch to, you know, an inch max. And it's got to be even all the way around. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think a pillow. And then I have my big pieces, which are Get Crackin', which I just finished.
I was gonna say, I haven't seen that finished yet.
Oh, you haven't? So
No.
I had a friend find a really elaborate frame, and it had a tapestry in it, but she got it at an antique type Goodwill kind of, it wasn't even consignment. It's more like just an estate sale kind of thing. And it was a beautiful, elaborate frame. And it's like red wood. I'm not sure if it's painted or if it's stained, but it's really nice. So anyway, I'm going to measure this and see if it's really close, because this is almost square, if it will fit in that. If not, I might consider a custom framing for this one. I really like it, and one of the bigger pieces. Next is Nevermore. And I am thinking of, again, finding the black crate. It's a Halloween piece. It's kind of dark, and it would really go well with just a black matte finish. And I don't want to frame it. I've seen so many of them framed, and they're beautiful, but the feel of it to me is very, I don't know, artsy. And I want to be artsy with it. So I'm thinking of something like that, of mounting it on a board and having embellishments around it. I don't know. So those are mine, and those are the ideas I'm throwing around, but I'm writing the sizes on because some options are just not feasible because of the size. So, and also I think in my mind, like, where do I want to see this? What does this piece mean to me? And that helps me find out what my options are. I also have the bell pull, which I have here. That I need. I already have the dowel rods. Like, I bought a pack of dowel rods. I need to get my husband to get the jigsaw out of the garage so he can saw them in half, so I can put my nuts on the little finial things on the end. And then I'm just gonna do twine. It's a folk piece, so it's gonna still be kind of folky. I didn't want to do the metal elaborate bell pulls because I felt this is too casual a pattern. So that's what I have so far.
You should be able to get them done, I think.
I think so.
Awesome. Well, I've done no preparation at all, ladies. So I need your help. So feel free to give me your opinion. I'll pin myself so everyone can see. And I'm just going to go through my box here and work out what, as I said, it's a box. Now, I did a whole bunch of finishing last year, so it's not that I'm it's not that I'm really behind. I just have been stitching a lot, so it's annoying my dog here. So in no particular order, here we are. This one's my memorial piece for Strawberry Fields, and I feel like it's going to need a frame. And I'm hoping that I found this frame, but oh, it might be just perfect. So that one's sort of decided. Oh, I forgot to show you guys one other thing. This is my wall hanging. So I often make things into wall hangings. So it's just like a quilted wall hanging with a bit of board, and then I've just sewn it together and added a hanger. So that's another type of finish that I like to do, and I know that's Debbie's once. But I digress. Okay. I have got Lucy Radden. She's your traditional little sampler. What do you reckon? Any ideas? What does it yell to you guys to do?
Do you have any pieces that are similar that it might be displayed with, like other very traditional samplers?
Well, no,
How-
but it
How much
came-
fabric is,
came with a pillow.
how much other fabric is, Lisa? How much is bordering? You could make a needle book. You've got enough there to bind it into a needle book cover.
That's a good idea.
That is.
Yeah, but then it's something like, it's really simple, and it comes with a matching pincushion. So I could possibly do something, put them together like a needle book, with a pincushion in it or something. That's an interesting idea. Okay, thank you. I've got.
Sorry, going back to that one.
Yeah.
You could use it as part of an orch bag as well, with the pincushion section on the top. So
Yeah.
put like a tile
Yeah.
in the lid with some padding and your pincushion section on top, and then you just create a bag around the bottom with a zip on it, and it unfolds and sits on your table because the tile's heavy. There's I know there's quilting patterns for that type of thing, but you could use it as part of your bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an idea. Interesting. All right. Gigi. So,
Right.
I mean, Luke will frame her because she's a Nora.
Yeah.
But I think maybe a black frame. If I can find a black frame that's the right size for her. I don't know if I have any black frames, but yeah, I feel like, mirrors do come across to me as more a framing sort of thing. I'm with you, Luke, with those. This one. I'm thinking my alphabet stitching drawn thread. I'm thinking just maybe a canvas for that one, because I want to be able to see and, I don't really mean feel the stitches, but sort of, because I mean, I don't want people touching it, but, you want to get
Maybe
close up
wall
to stitches.
hanging.
Sorry?
A wall hanging.
Yeah, a wall hanging, that would be good.
Pick out a fabric to make a border on it and then make a wall hanging.
That's a good idea. Got another mirror, Alice.
Beautiful.
Really pretty. I think a frame.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking a white, or potentially like it's got all these gold metallics in there. So I have to see, but I mean, she's a funny size because of that ribbon down the bottom. Yeah, definitely.
Do you ever do matting when you frame it yourself?
No, I wouldn't have I wouldn't do matting to cut around for ribbon. So no, I don't do that sort of matting. And even if I got a custom mat, it's hard to get that jigsawed out. So no, so it'll just be, I mean, I can do a mat around her, yes, but it'll be a rectangle mat. All right. These are the Lizzie Kate smalls, seasonal smalls. And I have got the whole set of them done. What do you reckon? Should I do pillows?
How would you display them?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's what I haven't worked out.
A-
That's why
a-
this the photo box.
A lovely little bread bowl and then keep the seasonal one on top.
Yeah,
Just
so
a bread
so,
bowl
yeah.
tumble.
so make them into pillows and put the right season on display.
Yeah.
Well, that would be easy to do. We have got Twin Peak Primitives. Very
That would be
scary.
neat on a bell pull.
A bell pull, yeah.
Mhm.
Or a wall. What about a wall hanging?
Well, just like you did with the ribbon. Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't really need anything else, does it?
No.
I don't think so.
So just a big, thick, chunky black and orange ribbon sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right.
Individually, though, you could make drums out if those patterns were done individually rather than on the banner type. That would be
Yes.
cool little drums.
They would, but I did them in all together, so I can't do that. This is nativity.
It's a bell pull to me.
Mhm.
Yep.
It looks like a bell pull.
Yeah.
Bell pull / wall hanging, like they're the same sort of idea to
I
me.
want to
Mhm.
sew pockets onto the side of that one and turn it
Yeah.
into an advent calendar.
Oh,
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah.
Cool
So make
idea.
it
Yeah.
a quilted advent calendar sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
Very cool idea.
I won't be able to see her. Put something behind her. This is Brooks Books. Snow
That's
Angel.
adorable.
Beautiful.
She's. I know what I'm doing with her. She's going to the tree. I know she's
Ah,
big, but she's going to be an actual tree decoration. She is gorgeous, and she's got so much beading and shimmering.
wow.
Through Brooks Books fashion took me forever to do with all the blending and everything. So yeah, she's getting felt and going to the tree.
You could attach it to a cone and make it your tree topper.
I was just thinking that.
That
That
would be neat.
good idea. Yeah, because she's big.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a good idea, Beth.
Yeah, I was thinking the cones that I get my weaving yarn on would be, that's just what was going through my mind, Beth. Exactly.
Try and find a big enough cone. My
You
biggest
can make
cone-
it out of cardboard. They're really easy to make.
Yes,
So,
that would be easy to do. That's a good idea, Beth. But even if I don't do a cone, I could attach it, leave her straight, but
mhm.
attach her onto a cylindrical bottom.
Yep.
That will stand over the tree, and then she'll stand upright instead of being curved around.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, good idea. See, this is what this is about. All right, I have Snowy Kanga.
Oh, he's cute.
Aw.
He is cute.
Mhm.
One of mine. I have no idea what I'm going to do with him. He's too big for an ornament. He doesn't strike me as a pillow. Maybe a little flat fold,
Hmm.
just so he can sit out in winter and seasonally ski somewhere. Don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I like a flat folder for him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now this one's got an idea. This is another one of mine. It's part of my Year Down Under, and I've actually bought a big frame that I don't have out here that has about 6 different sized sections, and I'm turning that into my seasonal frame. So the monthly section, I'm going to frame them all the same size. They'll just go on a bit of mount board, and then they'll slot into that hole. So that will be good. And then there's a section for like spring and one for the month, and yeah, it'll be good. All right, these are the rest of the Lizzie Kates. These are the big ones though. So I think I might put them into that frame I was talking to you about.
Mhm.
They're seasonal, even though they belong with the other little pillows. All right, here's a big one. What do we do with all our yesteryears? Is it a wall hanging,
Yeah.
or is it on a canvas board? Okay.
Yeah, that's large. So I would say a wall hanging. Yeah.
Well, then it would be easy to display.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, it's not shouting out frame to me. It doesn't need a frame.
Mhm.
All right, bell pull fans.
Have
That's
you
gotta
seen the finishes that people have done
Yeah.
where they put them on the shutters?
Shutters. Oh,
They'll
Okay.
get the shutters that are long, and then they kind of do they'll do a backing behind it, a
Yeah.
fabric, and then put it on the shutter, and that looks really neat. And then they lean them up like against the fireplace instead because they're so long.
mm,
Mhm.
that's a good idea because I can really see this popping. If I get like this pinky color on a backing fabric, it'll make the paler threads that I use pop forward.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's a good idea. So, starting life as a single flat fold,
Yes.
as far as the current grain of finishing. All right. Another Nora
That's pretty. The fabric is so pretty.
is it is spring
I think that
bouquet.
needs to be framed so that you can have a good chunk of the fabric showing too.
Yeah,
Yes.
frame, but I don't have a lot of like I've only got that much turnover at the top,
Yeah.
but yeah, you want to have a sort of, go there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've got a couple of nice frames here that might be the right size for her. I don't know if it's the right size, but that might look nice with her if she's the right size, being a
Yeah.
gold. Wait, there's more. Now, this one, Raspberry Homecoming, has a friend, Blueberry Homecoming. So I'm actually thinking of maybe canvas boarding these so that then I can display them together.
Mhm.
Because I don't feel it needs a frame. This is another one that is serious. This is Spring House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs, and I've got all the seasons. So I think I need to do something along the lines of what you're saying with the shutters with these. I need to mount it on board with a magnet on the back so that I can change out the seasons, and it's just a matter of finding what sits behind it.
Mhm.
So it started its life as a flat fold. Twin Peak Primitives, Joy to the World. So probably.
Do you do a big Christmas spread where you have all of your Christmas things out around the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one is a Christmas decoration picture.
Yes.
So probably just on a canvas or something, so it can just pop out and be on display. Now, you were talking before with my sampler. I have got this one, which is pins and needles and scissors and thread. But I was wondering if that would make a good pillow.
Yes, it would.
I don't know what I'd do with it though.
You'd applicate onto a project bag.
Yes, that's what I should do. Project bag, that one. Good thinking. I have a pair here of treble and bass clef.
You know, there's no reason why you couldn't do a pillow with one side being the bass and one side being the treble.
That is a perfect idea.
Ribbon around the edge to bridge it.
Or if you've got a music book, you can do a front and back cover of a music book as well.
True. Okay, some good ideas. Huh. All right, this one already knows what it is. I just have to do it. This one is a biscornu. I just have to sew him up. He's a big biscornu. All right, you were talking about advent calendars before. I have this advent calendar. And the idea, it's mine. I have to make it into a quilted wall hanging. But the idea is that you have got all the little bits. They're like the lollies.
Oh, they're cute.
So I have to actually mount all these onto like a bit of card or something, or felt them. And then the idea is I'm actually going to put magnets on them like needle minders. And then as each day passes, you stick them on.
Nice.
So that's
Yeah.
going to be a wall hanging finish. Wait, there's more. There's another advent calendar. So I don't know with that one. Maybe just the mount board.
Yeah.
I'll probably just hang it without a board. If you put dowel in the top and some interfacing on it,
Yeah.
I don't think it needs the whole structure of a board. You could just hang it pretty straight.
So just another wall hanging.
Yeah.
This one is a pillow.
Yeah.
A really good pillow. Nice big square pillow. We're nearly there, guys. You'll be pleased to know.
Ooh.
Well, which I dodgily didn't count properly with my fabric, so I don't have much around the edge. But I did buy a frame.
Do you have any barnwood or anything?
Yeah.
What? Hardwood?
Yeah, like a slab of wood.
Yeah, that would look good. Well, what I'm thinking is maybe actually because I have the problem, like you can see how close I went at the end.
Mhm.
Maybe if I just pinking shear it and
Yeah.
stick it onto a backing
Yeah.
fabric and then onto a piece of wood, that would look good.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing I could do to save this end, so then I just chopped it all small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would look good, yeah. This one I always planned to do as separate pieces quilted together, so they're not even, like that's not actually squarely finished. So I've got
So
to
you're
chop
gonna cut them apart?
and then quilt them together with a
Okay.
Christmassy fabric in the middle.
You turn that one into a table runner with your Christmassy fabric.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Although, do I want it on the table with my kids?
Do you have some sort of hutch top or something that you could put it on as a runner that way?
Going crossways. Okay, thank you. Or the other thing, it could be maybe across the top of a bookshelf or something, hanging down.
Oh, yeah.
I like what you're thinking. Make it long and straight.
Mm-hmm.
This one's hard to see.
I like that.
No, I like it. So it's just a Christmas decoration, but I'm thinking it probably is a pillow.
Mm-hmm.
We just finished that one on flat fold.
Or just a flat fold. Yeah, flat fold would
Yeah.
be nice too. I've got cute little, probably just on one of my little square things. I don't know.
I think one of those wooden square ones would be cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn it into a Christmas pillow, but I like Australian Christmas things.
Well, that's what I try and design. This one is for my mum, and I was going to make it into a pillow for her. This is what I mean. I just have to bother to do it. Another one
Who
of mine.
When you can be stitching, right?
Exactly. I think probably just mounting it on one of those board, like flat fold sort of thing.
Have you got the rest of the alphabet for that one?
Yeah, got to stitch it.
I was
Well,
gonna say-
that's the other option, is I can make a book.
well, if you have all of them, you could also turn it into a quilt because they're going to be a lot.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I have to get
With
around
enough
to
borders, that'd be a single bed quilt with 26
Yeah.
of those.
26 of those. Okay, I'll have a think about that. This one. Thinking flat folding, bottom pillow. What do you reckon?
That feels like useful, like a bag or mounting it on a box. Like,
What
Okay.
about those horn book type mounts you can get these days? since it's a, you know, like a child's sampler of letters. You know those wooden horn books I'm speaking of?
I
Oh, I
don't.
think I froze. Those horn books that you
I
can
heard
get.
I don't know what a horn book is.
Oh,
I'll have
okay.
to look that up. Okay, I'll look that up.
Okay.
Unless you can find a picture to share with us. Another ornament. So that's easy. It'll be a felt ornament. Nearly done. I've got 3 more, guys. Now I'm not doing the whole series of the anniversary of the heart. So I've already got one in a frame, so I'll probably just frame this one as well.
Yeah.
And here's some more of my months that are going to be added onto the thing. So there we go. So that's where I'm anymore.
You muted, Lisa.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to a child who's annoying me.
I'm sorry.
So there's some ideas, guys. So the plan from here is that I'll probably make a different event for each time slot just so people can put in their calendars. And the idea is we get on here and we support each other by, let's get it done. You know, we might be chatting. If people are on sewing machines, obviously they'll be muted, but let's just spend a bit of time together and spend, you know, a 2-hour block where we're going to FFO, because yes, it's taking away stitching time. It is. But what's the point of stitching them if you can't enjoy them?
Yep.
So that's my plan for May and I'm going to try and put the times at different times, and I may have to get a few people to help me. I may not make all of them myself because, you know, I might be asleep. Because if we want to catch too many of our European friends, then it doesn't fit in with me much. So we'll see what we can find. So thank you for coming along today. I will finish the recording here, and it doesn't mean you have to go anywhere. But look for the other events and join us.